After measuring specific distances from the target, all layout work was done by simple triangulation. From these reference points on the slab, a wire was stretched for 5 floors to represent the center lines of the mullions. Then, using the wire as a reference, the men are able to locate their template in order to establish intermediate locations for the mullions, so that they would be in line from floor to floor. Here the final, all-important marks are being made for the location of the template which will position the mullion bracket and center line of mullion. The positioning of the mullions must be accurate to plus or minus 1/16 of an inch. This on a building constructed in the field with wind and cold and rain, where tolerances often have a spread of an inch. The mullions are manufactured in one city, the spandrels in another, the glass in another country, yet it must all come together and into place, modern technology wrapped around a rather primitive structure. This bracket with the 2 vertical bolts has been welded to the angle insert embedded in the concrete. An iron worker on the floor above would then engage the aluminum anchor casting over the anchor bracket. Here's how it's done. The upper section slides over the lower section, which is already anchored securely and in line. The mullion must correspond with the mark established by the original template layout. Then this smaller template is used to align the mullion, which is finally secured with a torque wrench. The next step is the installation of the spandrels, which contain either the heating and air conditioning units or the fresh air ventilation. Only 2 men were required for the installation of these spandrel units. This is consistent with the general trend of minimizing field labor in the construction industry. After the spandrels are positioned, they are held in place by an aluminum clamp. These clamps are bolted behind the mullion to anchor the spandrel in position. This drawing shows the glazing detail using a vulcanized butyl sealant tape with neoprene spacer shims. The first step in the glazing operation is installing the sealant tape. This glazer was part of a 4-man crew who installed the entire job of 11,310 lights. The glass itself was manufactured in Belgium. It is double glazed. The exterior sheet has a bronze tint. The interior sheet is clear, with a 1/2-inch airspace in between. The 2 men installing the glass worked as partners to glaze the entire building. The total installation, mullions, glass, and spandrels, looked like this before decorating. And like this afterward. When it actually got finished, I think that not only did we have a feeling of satisfaction, but frankly, I think a lot of the people that worked on the building had the same feeling, that they were really it was a building that was somehow a little bit different than most of the other buildings that they had worked on. But then, of course, some of the recognition started, and it was really, I think, interesting to go through the final phase of reaction, because at one time I felt that that building was the most important thing that could possibly be done. And now that it's built, I realize that it is just another building that is an expression of all these different people that were involved with it, that helped build it and were able to experience it, and realize that given another set of circumstances like that, we could do another Lake Point Tower type building. But it was really a building that was a little bit different than the normal building to build.